Hey guys, welcome back to BoozeRevooze in black and white. I am D'Amico, and this dude over here is Bane. And today, we are back doing, actually we haven't left, we're on the same clothes as the other two videos. We're still in our Rye mini-series. This is number 3 of the mini-series. We are doing Wild Turkey Rye. This is the 81 proof, because you know who screwed it up and didn't get the 101.
We're looking at a little bit newer version of the Wild Turkey. D'Amico religiously has been reading the Whiskey Advocate summer version, and it's got the 101 on it. This is the 81, so a newer one, 65% rye whiskey. Same as the 101, just a little bit younger, 4 to 5 years age compared to 6 or 7. Yeah, so we're just looking at kind of a baby version of the 101.
Right. I would have assumed that they were the same, they just added more water to dilute from the 101, but no, we looked it up and it is actually different. This is 4 to 5 years old versus 6 or 7 years old. They both use the same grain bill though, 65% being rye. What are you smelling?
It's pretty lax on the rye, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little kick of spice towards the finish.
I can smell the rye, but I like it. It's like having a bag of rye, you know, that's slightly damp, you know, get a little bit of that aroma moving around. But then maybe a little bit of lemon peel almost.
I almost smell a little bit of that winter wheat or something. Maybe it's just wheat, I don't know.
That might be.
Yeah, but it's not as spicy as some of the ryes we've had so far. I'm just going to dive into the palate. Ooh. Damn. Okay, so the palate. The palate does not match the nose on this one. There's even a charcoal, like couple of seconds of the charcoal, like boom, hitting you. Spice, of course, throughout, but it really is got a very dynamic palate. It fluctuates and it actually finishes with a lot of that drier, kind of oaty characteristic, I guess. But the rye is very dynamic. Wow, I am really surprised at this palate. This is throwing me for a loop.
So this is why I enjoy doing this. Like, I work at a liquor store part-time for fun, unfortunately. I wish I could, you know, it's fun. It really is. And being able to try stuff. I mean, I got into the game doing, you know, during the beginning of the craft series, the craft whiskey boom. So I skipped over a lot of this stuff. You know, Wild Turkey was always, you know,
it was almost cliche.
Exactly. Sure. You know, what our parents drank and, you know, that kind of. Okay.
It didn't speak to the younger generation.
Exactly. And damn, have I been wrong. I get it. This is not the 101 proof, and I'm hoping that the 101 steps it up yet another notch. But for this 81 proof, yeah, you know, I've read, you know, things on the internet, people saying, oh yeah, it's really good for cocktails and whatnot. And it is. It's simple, easy drinking, but it's got some serious complexity. It's got a lot going on, and yet there's balance. earthy, spicy, oaky, a little bit of that charcoal, a little sweetness. I'm not getting that lemon peel that I was getting on the nose at all.
That definite earthiness really kicks up. And quite honestly, I've been seeing a dynamic. In whiskeys. At lower alcohol percentages, being a little bit sweeter, easier, smoother. Again, easier for mixing. Higher alcohol percentages really tend to be more dynamic, more flavorful. Especially in the rye realm, you get a lot of that rye just kind of spiking, drier characteristics coming through. Wild Turkey, this one's 81. I know that 81, that's kind of a weird number. I mean, they've always tried to be one up from the next. Yeah. That's kind of their dynamic. Whether or not that makes any of a difference, who knows? I mean, that might just be a marketing ploy. But I'm actually quite surprised. Just like D'Amico, this really seems like a dynamic whiskey. It's got a lot of flavor at first bite. I mean, wow, I mean, my palate got thrown for a loop. I was surprised. The nose, for instance, really didn't show me anything new.
Right.
We've been kind of stepping up video by video. Hopefully you've been watching it, them in a row.
Sure.
But yeah, this one really kind of stepped up the bar a little bit.
Man, this is good. Marzipan, a little bit of marzipan, almost a hint of chocolate. I think that's coming from the charcoal. But yeah, that earthy quality changes the game for sure. And we've been drinking, I mean, we did the Bullet Rye, and that was 95% rye for the grain bill, which you got a much bigger pronunciation of rye versus this one being 65. But I like this. One of the next ones we're gonna try is 100% rye whiskey, and I'm excited to try that because I like rye bread and stuff like that, so that's fine. But yeah, you're getting enough of that rye to let you know that it's a rye, unmistakably so. And if you're looking for something that's just different from, bourbon, I get cloudy sometimes, if I get into a bourbon kick, I'm drinking all these different bourbons, but a lot of the characteristics are the same. They're just different amounts or different levels here and there. This is fun to be able to, I usually break that up with scotch. I'll start drinking a scotch every now and again and then change it up a little bit. But now that I'm finally starting to understand rye, I think that I am going to start using the rye whiskey to break me up a little bit.
You tend to get a little bit palate numb to whiskeys, and switching back and forth, sipping water, drinking whiskey is a good way to kind of, understand the palate, because as I go back and forth, I'm understanding the dryness of what Wild Turkey brings to the table. It's not this overwhelming, creamy, sweet whiskey, and that's something I don't want. If I pay a higher price, I'm expecting something drier, lighter, more complex. And I think this is, it really, kind of shoots that level up a little bit. How much do you think this bottle probably costs? About 25, maybe 30?
I paid 22 for this.
22? Okay, yeah. So it's still a pretty reasonable bottle. And again, I'm not going to go and spend $100 on this bottle, but I think it's definitely well worth $21 for sure. And I'm not even sure if I would totally mix this one.
I don't think I would. If I was, I'd use the old overall for mixing.
Probably.
Yeah, I would definitely keep this neat or on the rocks. For me, you buy it, it's yours. You do whatever the hell you want to.
Definitely.
So
I'm just cheap. I'm make it last a long time.
I am going to find the Wild Turkey 101 rye and add that into this little mini series. That's totally my bad. I didn't even pay attention to it. They didn't have the 101 where I bought this from, so that's probably why I didn't notice it. But yeah, I just noticed it as we were opening the bottle. I'm like, wait a minute. At any rate, I'm ready to rate this one.
All right, well, go ahead.
I think I'm going to give this a very, very solid 84 points. Yeah, I think it's well-rounded. I think it's a definitely must-buy if you're going to try to start getting into the rye whiskeys. You know, Old Overhold, Bullet Rye, obviously, Wild Turkey 101 or the 81, whichever. Definitely need to be in your little repertoire to start off with. Because that's just how I did it.
I'm kind of beside myself on this one because I had an experience with this. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but I had an experience, my first taste with this Wild Turkey Rye. And I would almost give it a 90, but I want to pull back a little bit because that rye really settled with me, relaxing over the next couple of tastes. I'm going to probably give it an 85. It did a wonderful job. I think it's a great whiskey, both for mixing and for drinking straight. Throw a little ice cube in it, whatever you want to do. This thing really is complex. It's got a lot of that dry characteristic that a whiskey, a rye whiskey should bring to the table. Yeah, Wild Turkey Rye.
Yeah, I'm impressed. And then, again, this is the 81, so I can't wait to get to the 101. At any rate, as always, we will catch you guys on the flip side.